Emily had been searching for a job for months with no luck. Bills were piling up and she was desperate. So, when she found a listing on Craigslist for a personal assistant position offering good pay, she eagerly applied. The ad was straightforward and professional, seeking someone reliable and discreet to assist a businessman with errands and household tasks. Within an hour of submitting her application, she received a response. The employer, Mr. Harper, was impressed with her resume and wanted to meet her the next day. The quick reply seemed a bit unusual, but Emily brushed off her doubts, attributing it to her desperation. The next morning, she arrived at the address provided, a large house on the outskirts of town. The neighborhood was quiet, almost eerily so. As she approached the front door, it opened before she could knock. A tall man with a friendly smile introduced himself as Mr. Harper and invited her inside. The house was immaculate, almost too perfect. Emily noticed the lack of personal touches. No family photos, no clutter, just sterile and cold. Mr. Harper led her to the living room where they sat down for the interview. He was charming and polite, asking her about her experience and skills. Everything seemed normal until she mentioned her family and friends. "Do you live alone?" he asked, leaning in slightly. "No, I have a roommate," Emily replied, sensing a change in his demeanor. "That's good. It's important to have people who care about you," he said, his smile fading slightly. As the interview concluded, Mr. Harper stood up and offered her the job on the spot. "You can start tomorrow," he said. "Just come back here at 9 a.m. I'll have everything ready for you." Emily left the house feeling a mix of excitement and unease. Something about Mr. Harper's sudden shift in tone had unsettled her, but she pushed the feeling aside. This job could solve her financial problems. That night, she received a text from an unknown number. "Looking forward to working with you. Remember, 9 a.m. sharp." She assumed it was Mr. Harper, though she didn't recall giving him her number. A chill ran down her spine, but she dismissed it as nerves. The next morning, Emily arrived at the house. The door was ajar. She knocked and entered cautiously. "Mr. Harper?" she called out, but there was no answer. As she stepped further inside, the door slammed shut behind her, and she heard the sound of a lock clicking. Panic set in. She turned to find Mr. Harper standing there, his friendly demeanor replaced with something cold and menacing. "You shouldn't have come back," he said, his voice devoid of warmth. Emily's heart pounded as she tried to make sense of the situation. "What do you want from me?" she demanded, backing away. "You'll find out soon enough," he replied, advancing toward her. In a desperate attempt to escape, Emily ran deeper into the house, searching for another exit. She found a door leading to the basement and darted inside, hoping to find a way out. The basement was dark and cluttered, filled with boxes and old furniture. As she stumbled through the darkness, she tripped over something soft and fell to the ground. Her flashlight revealed what she had tripped over, a collection of personal items, purses, wallets, and phones, all belonging to different people. Realization hit her like a freight train. These were the belongings of previous victims. Just then, the basement door creaked open, and Mr. Harper's silhouette appeared at the top of the stairs. "You're not the first," he said softly, "but I promise, you'll be the last." Emily's mind raced. She had to find a way out, and fast. As Mr. Harper descended the stairs, she noticed a small window high on the wall. Summoning all her strength, she climbed onto a stack of boxes and pushed the window open, squeezing through just as Mr. Harper reached the bottom of the stairs. She ran as fast as she could, not stopping until she reached a neighbor's house and pounded on the door. The police were called, and Mr. Harper was arrested shortly after. They discovered that he had been using Craigslist to lure victims for years, posing as a reputable employer. Emily's ordeal was finally over, but the trauma would haunt her forever. She had escaped with her life, but the knowledge of how close she had come to being another one of Mr. Harper's victims would stay with her, a constant reminder of the darkness that can lurk behind seemingly innocent opportunities.